Hello everybody, welcome to the next episode of Michael's Kitchen, and today we'll be making a type of pasta dish which is beef cannelloni, and we're gonna basically, it's like a dish of pasta. It's slightly different to normal pasta. Instead it's just pasta tubes and it's got stuffing inside. And I'll be using meat in my recipe, but feel free to go vegetarian for your recipe if your heart desires. And so right now the first step is I've cut my onions and my garlic, and we're just gonna sear it off in a pan. Okay, so for this step, you just want to quickly heat up the oil, then chuck in your garlic and onion, and then you want to put in your beef mince or your pork. Okay. Yeah, it's very quick. It's quite simple. So you just put it, bang it all in the pan, then chuck in a dish, and you can just put it in the oven. So now that my pan's nice and hot. Chuck in all of this and give it a quick stir. And then I shall see you when we put in the meat mince. Okay, so now that my onions have become translucent and they're nice and soft, it's time to chuck in our beef mince, our meat mince. And for my meats, I'm actually using half beef and half pork. And then I'll chuck in my pork mince as well. And the fast way, just break up this the meat mince, so it cooks a lot faster. And so also what you could substitute is, I don't know if I said it before, but if you can't eat meats, you can just do vegetarian, or you can even add meats and vegetables to give it extra flavour. And you can even flavour with some cheese as well. And also what I'm going to do now is chuck a bit of herbs in to give it extra flavour. And then I'm also going to season my meat with a bit of salt and pepper. Just chuck a little bit in for now, and then as you finish cooking the sauce, you can test it to see if it's missing any flavour. Okay, now my meat's starting to get cooked. All the juices are coming out. And the thing with this is you can use any herbs for the flavours which you enjoy. And then I shall see you when we put the sauce in. So now that my meat has been browned, it's time to put half the jar of sauce in. So we're going to put 1.5 jars of our sauce in. Okay. So, and what's good about this sauce is it has a bit of basil in it, and that's what the recipe says as well. So you can choose to put a different herb in as well, or any herb you like. Just gives a quick stir to cover all the meats with the sauce. And so once you do this, then you can put it on a low simmer. And what's good about this sauce right now, it just smells very nice in here. Very fragrant with the herbs. Okay, so now I shall see you in the next step when we finish simmering the sauce. You have to simmer for 20 minutes. So whilst our sauce is simmering nicely over there, it's time to get on with making the roux. And so making the roux, I've heated the pan up to nice hot heats, and then in goes my butter first. And then you want to give this a stir or cook it off until it gets very foamy. And once it starts to foam, then you can chuck in your flour and whisk vigorously, and then to make sure it's lump-free. And then when it becomes lump-free, then you gradually add in your milk. And I'll show you how that goes. Oh, whoa. Okay, thankfully there wasn't anything less than that. Okay. So it's starting to melt. And this shouldn't take too long as well. Just let it sit down and just my pan. The handle of my pan, the pan is heavier than the actual pot. Okay, so now it's nearly time to phone. And you gotta make sure all of the hands are free as well, so give it a nice stir. Okay. Now that it's foaming, we'll let it get a bit of colour and then chuck in our flour now. Now time to whisk it. And doing this on top of the flame helps cook off all the rawness from the flour. So now, just slow. Now it's time to gradually add in our milk. So it goes a little bit first. And the most important thing when you add in your milk, you want to make sure before you add in your milk again that it's combined into one mixture. So as you can see now, it will slowly combine. So there we go, it's mixing in nicely now. So turning into a smooth mixture now, and then I'm going to add the rest of my milk, or do 2 more batches. Yeah, so now my roux's coming nicely through. There's no more lumps, and I'll just cook it off a little bit more. And then now I can add the rest of my milk. And just you want to cook this off until it kind of reduces for 1 minute. After 1 minute, then we put in the cheese. Okay, now we're good to go. Take it off. And so now it's time to add our, and this is the part where we add our cheese in. So I'll just do it by batch. We've got Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese. And what's good about mozzarella is it's quite bland, and so we got the Parmesan to help give it extra flavour. A bit of a savoury kick. Give me 1 second. Thank you to my cameraman. Nice, so now that my cheese is slowly melting. And you can see that ooey gooiness. It's delicious. And then time to put in the rest of it. And I'll see you for the building step. And so one last tip for the sauces are, I added a little bit of sugar to give it some sweetness, and then I cooked it off for a little bit, and then I let it cool down so we can start the building process. So for the building process, you want to start off with a bit of sauce. And just do like a thin base at the bottom. Like so. Smooth it out. A bit more sauce. And because I don't have a big tray, I'm using 2 small ones. Okay, here we go. So next tray. Yep. And one last thing is, because I have spare lasagna sheets, I'm actually going to use that as part of the base, so it's like a double pasta. And my mouse, maybe, okay. So I have pretty much just about covers the sauce at the base. Yeah, so it's kind of like similar to building a lasagna. So right now, for lasagna, you also want to put sauce at the bottom. And then, so I've got two here like so. And you want to make sure the pasta cheese doesn't touch the edges, otherwise they might burn a little bit. Here we go, and then the last piece. And then in goes for our next layer. The cheeses. Okay, so a bit more red sauce. And with these sauces, you don't have to be you can be quite sparse with it. So just like a light layer on top of it. Yep. And we also want to save some of the sauce for the cannelloni tubes. Okay, so now close. This shouldn't take very long at all, so I'll put more scoop. Okay, so now okay, now time for the building process. So our cannelloni tubes, you just want to set them upright like this, and then you sideways, lengthways. No. Okay, so this is, okay, now it's time for stuffing our cannelloni tubes. So you want to get a small spoon, if so, and just pack it into the cannelloni tubes. And it should easily slide through. And you're going to make sure that you fill it quite generously, so the cannelloni tubes, they get cooked all through. So there's one tube filled. And there's the next one. Yeah, so what's good about this is the heat from the sauce will help cook all of the pasta throughout. And then now just you just fill them up until they're all finished, and I shall see you when it's time. Okay, so this is the finished product of my cannelloni tubes that have been filled with the sauce as well. So now it's time to spin in the cream sauce whilst our oven is preheating. So you just you can be quite generous with this because you got so much sauce. And what's good about it is the cheese inside will give it a really nice texture and flavour as well. And the good thing about this cheese sauce is if you have spare left, you can always just make another type of pasta and use it as a cream sauce. So we're nearly done. Yeah, so I forgot to say, you to get a bit of colour on the top, you want to sprinkle some extra mozzarella, and so it will cook nice and turn golden as well. And it will just really help with the presentation. But I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit because we've got so much cheese in it and the sauce already. Yeah, so we're pretty much done, and I'll see you when we're ready to put it in our oven. Yeah, so I've just put my cannelloni into the oven, and you want to cook it at 180 degrees for 40 minutes. And I'll see you when I take it out. I'll put it on, I guess. Okay, so I've got my final product. Just let me think of a way to get it out. As you can see, it has a very nice golden colour to it. And we shall do a taste test. So I give you the description of the flavours and the textures. So I'll get a plate out. Oh my goodness. Yum. Okay. So as you can see, it's got a very nice color, just cooked perfectly, and even the pasta looks quite soft. So I'll describe the flavors. I'm too eager. What I love about it is the smell. It smells very nice and fragrant, but the cheese, it cuts it helps balance out the meat because the flavors are quite strong, and you got the nice sauce for the help to balance everything out. It's delicious. But then before I do that, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Michael's Kitchen, and feel free to subscribe at the end of this video, and I shall see you next time. Bye.